You know what's most annoying? When you think you're done with a video, but you realize that the video is crap. Hi guys, Stephanie here with another Bibliophobes video, and today I'm bringing you a giant book haul. I went on a little bit of a spree on thriftbooks.com. I had some reading rewards that I wanted to use, and there were a couple of books on there that were in my wish list that I just really wanted to read. So let's get into the books. But first, what are y'all reading right now? Right now I am reading a couple books at the same time. Two main ones that I'm reading are Green Rider by Kristen Bretan, and that is about the messengers for the king, and about our main character who got literally thrown into this very honorable position and didn't want to. So far I've only read a few chapters and it's really good so far. And the other book that I'm reading, I'm actually buddy reading this with Seth, and this is A Theft of Sword by Michael J. Sullivan. It is about our two main characters, Royce and Hadrian, and they are my absolute most favorite characters because I'm just at the very beginning and the banter between these two is amazing. So it is about them and the shenanigans that they get into. And right now I'm at the very beginning. So right now they're getting robbed, but let's see, it's Royce who is the master thief and Hadrian who's the master swordsman. Like Hadrian carries 3 swords around, and of course Royce is a master thief. Why would you mess with either one of them? And they are very well known because they are the Ryer group, and they are very well known throughout the land. But let's get into the books. So the first book that I pre-ordered and was waiting for a very long time, and that was Crazy Sweet Creations by Anne Reardon. If you don't know who Anne Reardon is, check out her channel on how to cook that. She does debunking videos, she does how to cook, and obviously how to cook that. She does cake decorations, she does crazy baking stuff, and she's very informative and very, very awesome to watch. And it's just super amazing. I love her channel because she doesn't just bake, she wants to know why it works. And it's just absolutely amazing. So I pre-ordered her book and now I got it. So I can't wait to start trying things out in this book and being able to try to create all the stuff that she has done. She lives down in Australia, so I know their measuring system is different than ours here in America, but she took care of all of that. In this book of hers, everything is not only in grams and milliliter, ounces, fluid ounces, things like that, but it's also in cups, teaspoons, and everything. So she converted everything so everybody can use this and not have to try to convert it ourselves. And that is super, super sweet. So I cannot wait to get into this book because look at this. Just look at it, people. That is absolutely amazing. So you will be seeing this on my channel because I will be trying to do this stuff. The next book that I got, and that was Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. This is the second book in the Red Rising series, and to give you a little synopsis about Red Rising, it is about our main character named Darrow, and he is a red in the class of societies that it is, and he is the lowest, and him and the other reds are actually working to make the surface of Mars habitable, but then he finds out that it's already been done and the other classes are living up there. So it is about him getting revenge on them because he disguises himself as a gold, and I don't know what happens beyond that because this is the second book, so I'll have to read them and find out. The next 2 books that I got, at the beginning of this year, I started reading and utilizing my Kindle a lot. Well, I was at the bookstore today and I saw these 2 books and I had to pick them up because I absolutely love the first book, and that is Find Me Their Bones and Send Me Their Souls by Sarah Wolf. The first book was Bring Me Their Hearts. And in this series, it is about our main character named Zara. And she is what they call a heartless. And a heartless is basically the minion of a witch. And basically, they don't have a heart, obviously, and they are super strong, they're super fast, but the only problem is if in order to kill a heartless, you have to kill their heart, which is in a safe jar that the witch keeps. And at the beginning of this, Zara is put on a mission to get the heart of the prince of this land because they're trying to start a war again with the witches, and the witches just don't want it. They're like, we've done the war, we survived it, we don't want to do it. So Zara is on a mission to prevent this war by capturing the prince. And so that way a treaty can be formed and then there can be peace throughout the land. And the reward for doing this is she will get her heart back and get her life back. So the ending of the first book ended in a very, very, very good cliffhanger. So I'm very curious to see what happens in these next books. Yeah, it started out one way and ended a totally different way. I can't wait to see what happens with these two books. So the next book that I got, Hold Me Closer, Necromancer by Lish McBride. And this book is about two necromancers. One necromancer knows he's a necromancer and is kind of not new at the game. And it is about another necromancer who has no clue that he's a necromancer. And they all of a sudden become rivals and start battling it out. So, at least that's what I got from the synopsis. I haven't read this myself, but it was on my wish list on thriftbooks.com. And I just was like, okay, it's been on there for a while. I really want to read it. It's cheaper than buying it on my Kindle. And so I decided to pick it up. So we'll see what I think about it. So this book is the final book in the Snow Like Ashes series. I don't remember what the first book was about because it was so long ago that I read it. So I do need to go back and reread the first one and then continue on with the series. I do have the second book somewhere around here. I just can't find it. So I know I really like the first one, but I can't remember what it's about for the life of me. And I don't know why, because usually I'm really good about remembering things like that. So the next book that I bought, Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Now this book is very interesting. I like the concept of this book. It is about two friends that are sending emails back and forth. Now at this job that they're at, they know that their emails are monitored and read and gone through and everything, and they don't exactly take it seriously. So they email back and forth, send jokes back and forth, send, whatever, Facebook things back and forth, and the person that is monitoring them has become very intrigued by these two characters and has kind of formed attachment to these characters. Attachments. And the only thing is he's too deep into this now. What is he going to do? Introduce them and be like, oh yeah, I know all about you because I read all your emails. So I'm very intrigued at how this is going to play out, because you know that it's going to come out, and it's just, I'm kind of curious of how this will end. So I picked up that book, and this again was one that has been in my wish list for forever. The next book, Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Now this book, I actually had this book a long time ago and got rid of it, and I don't know why I got rid of it. I think it was because it was on my shelf for years and years and years and I just never got to it. But my niece has convinced me to pick it back up. She says, you're gonna love it. You can't be disappointed in it. So I have bought it again. And this was another book that got really destroyed in the rain. Again, the cover's not in too good a shape, but this one was a hardcover and the hardcover was soaked. But all the pages still legible, so I'm glad that they're legible, but I did buy them in better condition, and I like to get what I pay for. But this book is about, it's kind of a Harry Potter retelling. That's what I keep hearing. But now I'm really curious to read about it myself because my niece told me, yes, it's kind of a Harry Potter retelling, but no, it's not. It's like, no, it goes way different. So because I don't know too much about it, I kind of want to keep it that way because I like going into books not knowing too much, because once you start knowing too much, you expect things, and when it doesn't go your way, it's like you almost throw a tantrum. It's like, why didn't it go this way? So I'm going in to this book knowing little that I know and see what we think. The next book that I got is actually a book I actually own, but I can't find that book to save my life. I have dug through everything, but I don't know where it's at. And it's the first book in a series, and I wanted to complete it because I also bought a box set of this with the brand new covers, and that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. And this book, the entire series, the Luna Chronicle series, is such a fabulous series. I'm on to the very last main book, which is Winter, and it's like right there. So it is retellings. You have Snow White, Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, and Cinderella, and I think that's it. I think that's all of them. And they're so good. Not a retelling. It would be the retelling that I would love to have, like, instead of it being a retelling, I could live with this being the actual fairy tale. It is so good. Usually retellings are super depressing. These are so awesome. There's a bunch of action, there's love stories, there's suspense, there's thrilling moments, and it's very good. It delivers on everything that if you're in a reading slump, pick these books up because you are going to get out of a reading slump very quickly. But I had to pick this up because this now completes my old cover collection, and now I have the new covers. So I wanted to finish the collection, and of course they're all in paperback. So the next book that I got, Freaks by Amanda Hocking. Amanda Hocking is becoming an auto-buy author for me. I saw that this was a circus retelling or a circus story, and I'm usually not big into the circus stories. Like, I didn't get into The Night Circus, and I think there was one called Carnival. I did not get into that either, but I really like Amanda Hocking's writing, so I picked up Freaks. And this book is about our main character named Mara, and she longs to have an ordinary life because she's lived with the circus for so long. She would just love to have a life where no one levitates anything, there's no fortune telling, there's nothing like that. And she gets an opportunity to get an ordinary life. I can't wait to get into this book. I really, like I said, I really am a big fan of Amanda Hocking, and I like her writing style, I like her stories, and I hope I really like this one too. If I do, that will be like several books and several series that an author has written that I like all of them. I'm getting tired because this is getting super late. So the next book that I got, which really isn't a book, it's a graphic novel, but that is Skyward by, the last names are Henderson, Garbett, Fabella, and Boland. Sorry if I butchered those names. This book is about, well, this graphic novel is about what would happen to everybody if the Earth had a fraction of less gravity than what it has now. And what would happen? So, I don't know. We'll find out. The next book that I got, Sea Witch Rising, and now by Sarah Henning. Now this is the second book in the Sea Witch series. I literally found out when I was on Thrift Books, I found out that there was a second book. I had no idea. So I really enjoyed the first one, so I decided to pick up the second one. And the only thing that I wanted to read, I didn't read any of the back, but I read on the front, Sisterhood is the strongest magic. That was it for me. That was enough. So the next book, we're getting down the list, guys. So the next book is Set Fire to the Gods by Sarah Rush and Kristen Simmons. Now this book is about, it's a multiple perspective, and it's about two characters. One of them is named Ash and the other one is Maddock. And Ash comes from a long line of gladiators. Maddox comes from a long line of like street rats. He's lived on the streets and he has had to fight to stay alive. But there is something different about Maddox. He has a gift that hasn't been seen in centuries, and Ash is tired of being a gladiator. So when a plot to overthrow the gods goes totally wrong, these two meet up and chaos ensues. And the last book that I got, which is a beloved book on YouTube, I've seen it a lot, I hear about it all the time, and I decided to pick it up because I'm going to buddy read it with someone. And that was The Wheel of Time, The Eye of the World, Book 1 by Robert Jordan. Now, I don't really hear much about this, other than they like it or don't like it. A lot of people like it. I decided I wanted to give it a try, and we'll see what I think about it. So I will definitely let you know what I think about this, and because it's so popular, I hope I like it, because I'm always worried about getting into very popular books because sometimes I don't really like it that much. So that is it, guys. That is what I have bought. So let me know in the comments what you think of these books. Let me know which ones I should start with first. And let me know any books that you have started reading, any new books, because I'm always interested in new books and new authors. And I like to stray away from the super popular. Obviously, I have quite a few popular books and popular series, but I do like to get some books that are not on the mainstream, because those are just as good, but they just don't get the love that they deserve. But for a very late video, I'm starting to get super tired and I'm starting to ramble on. But until next time, guys, this is a Bibliophobe signing off. Bye.